Welcome to Stats Rescue 911. My name is Lynn, and in this video I'm going to show you how to take a variable that is continuous, a variable, for example, like age, where people just type in their age, and how to take that variable and convert it to one that is categorical. So, for example, taking age and grouping people into categories like young, middle-aged, and older. So with this data set that I have up here, this is a survey that my students and I are conducting, and we're looking to see if screen time, as defined by how much time you spend looking at your phone on a daily basis, if that's related to things like perceived social support, how much time you spend touching or being touched by others, and optimism for various areas of concern in your life. Anyways, in this tutorial, we're going to look at the percentage of time that people spent looking at their phone. So they were asked to look at their phone and go to the app that tells them how much time they spent on their phone so far. And we looked at how much time had elapsed since midnight. And then we were able to figure out the percentage of time on the phone they have spent on their phone since midnight, if that makes sense. Anyway, so we have all these numbers here, and again, they reflect percentage of time people spend on their phone, and we want to recategorize them or recode this variable so that people will fall into one of three categories. Either they've used their phone for a low amount of time, a moderate amount of time, or a high amount of time. So in order to recategorize or recode this variable, I'm just going to go back up to the top here. You're going to go to Transform, and you're going to go down to where it says Recode into different variables. So we're going to create a new variable, and that new variable, we don't have a name for it yet, but we will in a minute. We're going to scroll down first of all, and we are going to recode percent time on phone. All right, so just move that over here into this box. And instead of having it just be continuous, we're going to create categories. So you go to where it says old and new variables, or values, old and new values. And I am going to code them into the low category if they have certain values. So I'm going to specify a range. So anybody who has been on their phone for 0% of the time through, let's say, 14.99% of the time, I'm going to assign them the value of 1. Now later I'm going to tell SPSS what 1 refers to. But now we just hit add, and then the next range will be 15.00% of the time through 29.99% of the time. And if they fall into that category, they're going to be assigned a 2. So hit add. And then finally, we'll say anybody who has spent 30% of the time on the phone through, I believe the highest we had was 54 point something. So I'll say 55% of the time. We're going to assign them a value of 3 and hit add. Now we just hit continue, and we have to give it a variable name. So we'll just call this screen time category. I'm doing this with one hand since I'm holding the mic with the other. And SPSS does not like spaces or hyphens, so we'll put an underscore category. All right, screen time category, and then change, and then hit OK. Now, if we go back to the data set, you will see a new variable here called screen time category. And people have been coded as 1, 2, or 3. I'm not seeing any 3s. Oh, here's 1. Okay, so you can see now we were missing some data, so that's why you see these empty cells with just dots. But now we have to tell SPSS what a 1 refers to, a 2, a 3, etc. So we go to variable view. This is where you name and code all your variables. And we're going to go to the very end to where it says screen time. That's the new variable we created. You go to where it says values and click in the cell and then the 3 dots and tell SPSS what each value refers to. So 1, remember, was low screen time. These were people who spend anywhere from 0 to 14.99% of the time since midnight on their phone. So you hit add. And then 2 is moderate. And these were people who spent anywhere between 15 and 29.99% of the time on their phone. Now hit add. And 3, these were high users. So these are people who spent, let's see, anywhere between 30 and 55% of their time on the phone. Finally hit add. And then hit OK. Now we've coded the variable low, moderate, and high. So I'm just going to show you that. X out. If we go to data view, we now see that percent time on phone, which was the continuous variable, has now been recategorized and coded into categories: low, moderate, and if we scroll down, we'll see the high values. Eventually, there we go. There's a high, there's another high, there's some more highs, etc. All right, so that's how you do it. How you take a continuous variable and put the people into different categories. I hope this was useful, and good luck.